Hello and welcome to Feast One's Eyes on Watches. This review is having a look at the Olevs dress watch and the Oupinke dress watch. Now you can see when you're looking at these watches that there are a few similarities, and the first thing that you're going to notice is the face of the watch, and both of them have similar faces. However, the price points of these watches are quite different. The Olevs cost £27.69. The Oupinke cost £111.09. So there is a little bit of a difference in the price, but there's also some differences to the watches themselves, and I'll explain this as I go along. Both watch faces have this Catherine wheel effect that goes around on it, and the Olevs over here is a little bit more pronounced than the Oupinke one. The Roman numerals on the watches and all of the other indices and markings around the outside are raised. On the Oupinke's got its own logo just at the top from here, and Olevs has got its logo and name just underneath this part, and that is raised as well. As you can see, some of the indices are quite ornate, and they have what looks like a little bit of a diamond effect set on gold. Both of them stand out very, very well. I do think that the Oupinke one is more subtle than the Olevs one on it. The hands on the watches are both in gold on the outside of them, and they both have lume running down the centre. And also you'll see that the second hands as they come around are also in gold as well. The date window on both watches is a framed window, and I'll be showing you the date complications a little bit later in this review on that. However, both watches do look extremely nice, and again I think they are both good value for their money. The difference in the watches becomes more apparent when you look at the bezels around the outside. So on the Olevs, it's in a gold colour. On the Oupinke, it's stainless steel and it's shaped like a coin going around the outside, and it is finished to a very nice standard as well. The cases on both of these watches are stainless steel, and again, price wise you have to sometimes think, well, which one could I afford? Could I afford this one, or would I like this one? That's going to be your choice. Now, as I just mentioned, the cases on the watches are stainless steel, and if I just turn the Olevs around to the side so you can have a look at this in a little bit more detail, you'll see that the crown on the watch matches the colour of the bezel, and it's in gold and it's signed. And I'll just flip this around to the other side so you can have a look, and the polishing in that is extremely nice. I'll pop that down and pick up the Oupinke watch on it. Again, I do like the bezel on this watch. I'll just turn it around to the side so you can have a look. Signed crown, nicely finished around by the sides, and it's got a slight brushing to the side of this and just polished on the top round by the lugs. I'll just turn this around to the other side so again you can have a look. But when you look at both watches side by side, they are indeed nice watches. To adjust the time on the Oupinke, you pull the crown out to its final click and then set it to whatever time you like, and as you can see with the crown out, the watch hacks. The same applies with the Olevs. You pull the crown out to its final click and then adjust the time, and once again you can see that this watch, even for its price, still hacks. Now that is really quite something else. To adjust the day and dates, you pull this out to its first click, and then turning this clockwise, you'll see that the date comes around and it rolls from English into Chinese. So you've got the Sunday on there, and you can feel a nice little click when I'm doing this, so the Monday comes on here. If I want to change the date on here, which is on the 26th at the moment, I go anti-clockwise, and then it goes 27, 28, 29, 30 and so on with this. And everything on here functions really well. Now remarkably, the day and date setting on this Olevs is exactly the same. Pull it out to its first click, turn it anti-clockwise, and you can adjust the days on this, and you can see that it just rolls around just the same as the Oupinke. And if you go anti-clockwise, you'll see again you've got Chinese days and English days. The only difference I see between the two on here is that the Oupinke date frame and window is a little bit bigger. The glass in the Olevs is hardlex. In the Oupinke it's sapphire crystal. But if you have a look at both watches, I think you'll see that the clarity between both of them is almost equal. Both watches, irrespective of price, have solid end links. On the Olevs watch, you've got a nice polished finish on the outside, and you've got 3 lines of gold running down the centre, and the links are quite nice. Just having a look at the buckle of the watch, it's a nice clasp and it closes with a nice click, and it feels quite secure. So all in all, for the price, it's good value. Now if we have a look at the Oupinke watch, the first thing is that this is a tungsten steel bracelet. I do like the diamond shapes that run down the centre links, and as you can see on either side of these diamond links it's piped with gold, and it does look very, very nice. So I think out of both watches I do prefer this bracelet. Again, look at the engraving on the clasp, and again it closes really, really nicely, and I think it's just finished to a really, really good standard. So between the two of them, I think the Oupinke bracelet is probably just that bit better. However, when you look at the price of the Olevs, it certainly is good value for its money. Now when we're having a look at Lume for either of these watches, the first one is the Olevs, and as you can see the Lume shot on here is pretty good. Now all I've done is I've shined my torch on the watch face for just over 30 seconds, and I have to say it's not bad at all again for the price. Now switching over to the Oupinke, look at the difference on this. But again, you've got to consider that obviously this is a little bit more of an expensive watch, but I do think that the Lume on this is very, very good. The diameter of the case is 41.5 mil. The thickness of the watch is 11.9. From lug to lug it's 47.5, and at the very top of the bracelet and just in between these lugs it's 20 mil, and then the bracelet slopes down to 19, so there's only 1 mil difference on the bracelet with this. The dimensions of the watch are, the case across here is 41 mil. Lug to lug it is 49.2 mil. The thickness of the case is 12mm and the crown is 6mm. The bracelet on the Oupinke at the top, just by the lugs, is 20mm, and then it just tapers down to 18.9mm, so there's just over 1mm difference. I've already done 2 full reviews on these watches, so if you want any further information, please look at those full reviews. To sum up my side-by-side review, which of these 2 watches would you buy? Well, I think the Olevs, for its price, is exceptionally good. However, the Oupinke offers a much better quality watch. I do like the Olevs with its gold bezel. However, the Oupinke's bezel does look very attractive as well. On occasions I can wear this with its gold bezel because it suits different clothing a little bit better, and then other occasions I'll wear this one as well. Which one would I recommend? Well, out of the 2 watches, I would recommend both of them because they both offer good value. Thank you so much for watching this side-by-side review. Please remember that I will be reviewing lots of other interesting watches in the very near future. It would also help this channel immensely if you liked and subscribed to it. Thank you and goodbye. Thank you for watching this review. Please like and subscribe.